The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening. My name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 4th day of December 2025. Only 20 more shopping days till Christmas. Just a friendly reminder of that as I've Christmas shop for the wifey today. Anyway, so today is game 2 of our Real World Series. Milwaukee won the opener 5-4 yesterday. They are home again today for this next week. 3 in Toronto, perhaps, or 2 if Milwaukee can sweep. It's interesting because Toronto's lineup is deep. And so Miles Straw today, for instance, doesn't get the chance to play, and George Springer will go to his real-life one hole, which is I'm kind of curious as a thought to that because Springer is fast and Springer is their best power hitter. However, and so to me, that says 3-hole, not leadoff, but we'll see how that works. Anyway, game 1 was really good. It was 5-4 in favor of Milwaukee. And so that's the setup for you. Another day, another game. Milwaukee trying to go to Canada up 2-0. Toronto trying to get home field advantage in the series. Next! As Retro Sports Network presents the 2025 Real World Series today from American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toronto Blue Jays. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It'll be Chad Patrick on the hill for Milwaukee. Not a breath of wind, 62 degrees. The roof partially open. Patrick, 23 starts for Milwaukee. Not sure where he pitched last year, but this year it is Milwaukee. 3-8 with a 3.53 ERA, but his whip is pretty good, which is why he got the call. 119 2/3, 113 hits, 49 runs, 47 earned. He allowed 13 homers. He walked 40 and struck out 127. He'll give you 95 pitches. Yeah, play ball. Here's the lineup for Toronto in this one. George Springer will lead off and right. He went 3 for 5 in game 1. Alejandro Kirk behind the plate will go second. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will go third at first base. Bo Bichette, the maligned Bo Bichette, will clean up at short. Davis Schneider is in left field. He'll bat 5th. Nathan Lukes gets the DH call today. He'll go 6th. Ernie Clement at 3rd, batting 7th. Varsho is in center field. He'll go 8th. And Andres Jimenez at 2nd will bat 9th. Patrick, on a good day, may be able to get you into the 6th. But these pitchers do throw a lot of pitches early. I'd be hard-pressed outside of maybe Game 3 in Toronto of any starter going past 5. Defensively for Milwaukee, Isaac Collins is a 7-4 in left. Jackson Chourio is a 6-6 in center. Sal Frelick is a 9-7 in right. Caleb Durbin a 7 at third. Joey Ortiz is 7-7 at short. Bryce Terang is a 9-7 at second. Andrew Vaughn is a 5 at first. William Contreras, who had a 3-hit day yesterday, a 7-6 behind the plate. And Chad Patrick, a 7 on the mound with a .955 fielding percentage. George Springer steps in, 3 for 5 in game 1. He singled twice, doubled, and drove home 2, which is why you hit 30 home runs, or 32 home runs in Springer's case, and not drive in 100, because you are essentially driving yourself in. Patrick starts game 2, strike 3. A 1-2 fastball got him looking 1 out. Patrick struck out, as we said, 127 in almost 120 innings. Excuse me. Alejandro Kirk went 2 for 4 in game one. He had a single, a solo home run, and what turned out to be the deciding factor, I think, in the ball game, 2 pass balls that allowed runs. Right center, Chirino and Frelick. And it's Frelick in the alley, 2 out. For Vladdy Guerrero Jr., Vladdy 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts. He had a single. So Patrick, a quick inning so far. High ground ball is short. Ortiz has it over to Vaughn, and the Blue Jays go in order in the first. Half an inning in the books. Toronto, no runs, no hits, no errors, no score. So here is Shane, don't call me Justin Bieber. Pitched for the Guardians in 24, pitched for the Blue Jays in 25. He is 29 years old. Again, don't call him Justin, and certainly, for goodness sakes, don't ask him about Selena Gomez. He doesn't know. The 2020 Cy Young Award winner only made 7 starts, 4-2 with 3.57 ERA, 40 and a third, 34 hits, 16 runs all earned. He allowed 8 homers. He walked 7 and struck out 37. With Bieber on the mound, Mr. Jays fan says the Blue Jays will not be denied unless they're living in Trevor Hoffman, or depending on Trevor Hoffman. Here's the lineup for Milwaukee. Bryce Terang at second will lead off. Sal Frelick at right will bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will go third. William Contreras behind the plate batting fourth. Jackson Chirino in center goes fifth. Andrew Vaughn at first batting sixth. Isaac Collins at left goes seventh. Caleb Durbin at third goes eighth. Joey Ortiz at short goes ninth. And Bieber again at 5-6 innings on the mound with his 90 pitches going 10th. Defensively, it'll be Schneider a 5 and a 5 in left. Varsho a 9 and a 7 in center. Springer a 4 and a 5 in right. Clement an 8 at third. Bo Bichette a 4 and a 6 at short. Jimenez is a 10 and a 6 at second. Guerrero a 7 at first. Kirk a 10 and a 5 behind the plate. And Bieber a 6 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Terang went 0 for 3 in game one. He walked twice and struck out twice. So Shane ready to go. Terang waves the bat back and forth. Again, a cool night in Milwaukee. And the ghost of Bob Uecker threw out the first pitch. Got him. A 1-2 fastball at 92, 1 out. For Sal Frelick. Sal went 2 for 2 in game one. He singled twice, scored, walked twice. The Blue Jays didn't retire him. And drove in a run. Bieber winds and fires. That's in the left center. Varsho going way back, and that is gone. He turns and watches it go into the alley for a 377-foot home run, and the Brewers go up 1-0 in game two. Here it is again. He went opposite field, and there wasn't a blessed thing that Varsho could do about it. And Milwaukee opens up the ledger here in game two. Yelich 1 for 4 in game one. He scored twice, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Fly ball, right field. Back goes Springer. Makes the catch, 2 out. I'm sure, Greg, you heard enough of the Justin jokes with Shane. Contreras 3 for 5 in game one. He can't jump as high as Kirby Puckett? No. That one went into the pen. I'm assuming that's the Brewers' pen to make it a 1-0 ball game. Contreras, again, 3 singles and 2 strikeouts in game 1. And this time he strikes out. Bieber gets 2, but it was Frelick who put one in the bullpen to put Milwaukee on the board. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. After 1 here in Milwaukee, Brewers 1, Jays nothing. Shane is better than Justin. Yes. But if it gets down to 4 or 5 nothing early, you may be singing a different tune. Greg's bestie, Bo Bichette, will lead off for the Jays in the second. Schneider and Lukes is the DH today, with the lefty against the righty. Bo went 3 for 5 in game 1. All singles. Had a few nice words in the Toronto Star. Something about reporters from the CBC shouldn't be so negative. Not sure what he's talking about there. Pitch to Bichette. Struck him out. Patrick got him on a 1-2 swinging. For Davis Schneider, who went 0 for 4 in game 1 with 2 strikeouts. I'm sure you are looking for him healthy. Who'd you give up for him? Pitch to Schneider. Fly ball, left center. Collins has it for the second out. 2 away for Nathan Lukes, who gets the call as the lefty DH today, hitting .255 on the real year with 12 homers and 65 RBI. Toronto is deep as far as offense is concerned, which is probably one of the reasons why their 94 wins was tied for best in the American League along with the Yankees. Pitch to Lukes. Struck him out. That's 3 for Patrick, and that'll do. He chased an 0-2 fastball, and that is the inning. Again, no runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom 2 here. Milwaukee 1, Toronto nothing. Andrew, how are you? It wasn't much, okay? Chiriot, Vaughn, and Collins to face Shane, who threw 20 pitches in the first. Chiriot 3 for 5 in game 1. 3 singles, an RBI, and a strikeout. Fly ball, right center. Varsho, getting his exercise in, will make the catch. 1 out. For Andrew Vaughn, who did not play in game 1. Hitting .308, 9 homers, and 46 RBI. So there was a change for Milwaukee. I should know that. I made the lineups. Pitch to Vaughn. There's a fly ball, left center, Schneider. So Bieber getting hit hard. He has struck out 2 and given up some loud outs, along with a home run to Frelick. 2 away for Collins, who went 1 for 4 in game 1. Isaac also walked. Fly ball to right. Springer coming in. Jimenez going out. And Russ will make the grab. No runs, no hits. A better inning for Bieber. And no errors. We go to the third in game number 2. Milwaukee 1, Toronto nothing. How you doing, Steve? I had a good Thanksgiving. Hopefully you did too. It'll be Clement, Varsho, and Jimenez to face Patrick here in the third. Ernie went 0 for 3 in game 1, a walk and a strikeout. Up the middle, Ortiz snares it behind the bag, throws to Vaughn for the out, 1 away. We'll be with you Monday at a time to be determined for game 3, and that will be up at Rogers Center. Make sure to pay your cable and cell phone bills accordingly. Varsho, 0 for 4 in game 1. Call Steven, minor leaguer, could end up being a steal. Okay. In Toronto, they got, Dylan Cease? Is that his name from San Diego? It could be a very good year north of the border. Varsho swings a slow ground ball to Terang over to Vaughn for the out. 2 away. Then again, winning the offseason, just get your Jets tickets. Winnipeg or New York. Doesn't mean anything. Remember in the late what was it, 89 or 90? Mark Davis. San Diego got really aggressive in the offseason. I think they got Robbie Alomar and Mark Davis, and they watched the World Series like we did on television. Andres Jimenez went 2 for 4 in Game 1. 2 singles, a run scored, and a strikeout. Holding your breath on Cease. Yeah, but he didn't come back until September, right? Greg, are we talking Winnipeg or New York for the Jets? Got him. That's 4 for Patrick. 9 up, 9 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the third in Game 2. Milwaukee 1. Winnipeg, yeah. Toronto, nothing. So Durbin, Ortiz, and Terang to face Bieber here in the third. Caleb went 2 for 4. A double and an RBI. Caleb is one of those old-fashioned New England names. Now, Greg, who spent considerable time in Montreal, may be old enough to remember when a little fellow by the name of Caleb was the mascot on our Channel 3, the CBS out of Burlington. I prefer the Giants in New York, too. Durbin hits a ground ball to Guerrero. Vladdy takes it to the bag for the out. 1 away for Joey. Ortiz, who went 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts in Game 1. Fly ball, shallow left. Schneider comes in, rides the Schwinn, makes the catch. So I wish Zalapski's, who came to watch my stuff when we were on Twitch, and sometimes Zalapski Smurf would pop in and say hi, because it's Toronto. Bryce Terang is struck out his first time up. Bieber, 35 pitches, 2 2/3. The lone blemish, the home run to Frelick in the first, and 2 strikeouts. Got him. So Bieber is fan 3, and just 1 pitch separates the ball clubs. No runs, no hits, no errors. And after 3 here in Game 2, Milwaukee 1, Toronto nothing. You got a lot of commercials for the Factory Sleep Shop. Jim Pacioli. I don't remember that. George Springer struck out his first time up. Patrick opening 9. Now, this will be an interesting thing here. 3 innings, 4 strikeouts on 42 pitches. And he hit him, so there goes the perfect game. Springer takes off the armor. Here's Kirk. 0 for 1. Patrick throws to first, and Springer... I was going to steal him, and then I remembered I'm coaching Milwaukee. So we'll pitch out. We'll cheat. Springer goes to throw down a Terang, and George is into second with a steal. So break out the pizza boxes and the oven mitts. And a 1-ball count to Kurt. I actually didn't live in the northern half of the state, Greg, until 86. Most of our television, although we got the Burlington stations, was out of Albany. So I'm much more familiar with that. Fly ball, left center. Back goes Churrillo, and that is off the wall. Springer scores. Kurt is into second, standing with a double, and it's 1-1. This Kirk kid's pretty good. Not Cal Raleigh, but hardly anyone is. Here's Vladdy. He's 0 for 1. So that takes care of the what do you do in this situation if you got a no-hitter going. Guerrero swings, ground ball past Ortiz in the left field. Kirk will hold. Durbin should have made that stop. He did not. And it's now first and third, rather. Nobody out for Bo, who struck out his first time up. So Kirk on third. who has my speed, and Vladdy, who has a bit faster. They're going to try and steal. Contreras throws down, and Guerrero is in there. How about that? Wow. So, Toronto, they didn't try with Kirk, but Guerrero swipes the bag, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Bo. Greg grew up, spent a couple years in Alexandria, Ontario, from June of 74 until June of 76. I was still filling diapers in June of 74. Yeah, Vladdy he's not elite for sure, but that was smart. So here's Bo, a 1-1 count. Into center. Chiriot coming in, rides a Schwinn. Guerrero holds. Kirk will hold. That was pretty shallow. 1 out for Davis Schneider, who's 0 for 1. Struck him out. Patrick got him on an 0-2 looking. Hopefully Andy is not listening and driving at the same time. The roads here today are horrible. And a series of snow squalls run through this morning. Most of the kids... Oh, so were you right on the river? Triple G, how are you? So were you Ottawa Gatineau? Nathan Luke struck out his first time up. Second and third, 2 out in a 1-1 game. Luke's left center, Chiriot, will make the catch, and that will do. After 2 and 3.5, Toronto ties the game on 2 hits and no errors. Milwaukee leads the series 1-0, but Toronto has tied this 1-1. And if you weren't with us yesterday, Milwaukee took game 1 of this Real World Series, 5-4. Contreras, the catcher, had 3 hits. Paul, how are you? 6 miles from the border, okay? You looking forward to the cold tonight, Paul? It's supposed to get down to 1 here in Burlington. That's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Frelick homered off of Bieber in the first, the lone Milwaukee hit. -6 where Triple G is in Walnut Grove at the Laurel Wilder Country Club. And a 21 below 0 wind chill this morning. Eight below in Saranac Lake. The snow hasn't stopped for you yet. I noticed that that the station that shows pictures of downtowns has pointed the camera away from Hot Sarah. And I got to say, I am disappointed. Pitch to Frelick. Struck him out. Bieber got him. 2-2. Off speed. 1 out for Yelich, who's 0 for 1. 40 below wind chill tonight in Minnesota. My word. Even the witches will be inside trying to warm up. It was actually a shot of a street. I don't know where their camera is. That's quite old Forge numbers there at 40 below. Yelich swings. That's in the center. Varsho tracks it down. 2 out for William Contreras, who struck out his first time up. I think the wind chill tonight... Alexa, what's the wind chill going to be tonight?
The current wind chill is 14 degrees. Today's wind chill will range from -7 to 8 degrees.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay bundled up out there.
Like I'm going outside. 8 below without the wind chill in Scarborough. Don't make me sing again. Got him. That's 5 for Bieber, and we're through 4. So Shane got him to chase a 2-2 curveball, and his offense has given him made up for the one mistake pitch. After 4 in game 2, 1-1. So Clement, Varsho, and Jimenez to face Patrick here in the 5th. Ernie is 0 for 1. Left field, Collins will make the grab. 1 out. Do you think it would actually respond? Alexa, tell me about D. Scott Howard.
D. Scott Howard is the founder and CEO of Resonance, a company that helps organizations make better decisions using data. Would you like to know more about his work or the company he leads?
Sure.
D. Scott Howard is a pediatric hematologist/oncologist at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and a professor at the University of Tennessee. He founded Resonance in 2015 to improve global cancer care, especially in low-income countries, through research and healthcare technology.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help with the info on Dr. Howard.
I will call him that the next time I see him. How you doing, AP? I've been known to set those off, Steve. Varsho is 0 for 1. Todd just fell off his chair, I'm sure. Pitch to Varsho. Struck him out. That's 6 for Patrick, 2 out. For Jimenez, who struck out his first time up. Imagine 1,000 of them talking at once. No, thank you. Patrick deals. Popped up. Left side. Durbin will make the grab. We go to the commercial. We've talked a great play and to reach into the dugout to grab it. How about that? Halfway home, we've already talked about the weather on this cold day in Burlington. A jam here in Milwaukee. Toronto 1, Brewers 1. Now, Box Seat AP is the one that was just re-released, right? Joined us late. Here's how we got here. Oh, good ball game. Just 3 hits combined for both teams. 1-1. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Toronto. A run on the home run from Frelick in the first and no errors for Milwaukee. Alejandro Kirk in the 4th doubled home George Springer to tie it. And so Shane Bieber, a one-hitter through 4 and has struck out 5. Patrick, a 2-hitter through 5, 1 run, and he has struck out 6. Todd B. sounds like he's been talking to his speaker. In 17 days or so, the days will get longer. We'll be fine. So what do you think of it? I hadn't played Box Seat. I'm delighted that someone convinced him to start to re-release the game. Jackson Churrillo is 0 for 1. Got him. 6 for Bieber. Andrew Vaughn is 0 for 1. Bieber deals. Popped up center field. Varsho didn't even have to move. 2 out for Isaac Collins, who's 0 for 1. That's a hard hit ball to center, but Varsho is there, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth for Milwaukee. So Bieber, as Mr. Gorky says, he was pretty confident in that, and outside of that one bad pitch in the first, he has slammed the door. After 5, 1-1. It's ballpark. Oh, wait a minute. Because ballpark just came back, right? We've snapped Todd back to reality as George Springer digs in. He stole a base. Was hit by a pitch and struck out. Box seat. Okay. This ballpark's the one that just came back. Ground ball to third. Durbin's got it over to Vaughn. And Springer's retired. 19 batters deep. Patrick, 71 pitches, 5 1/3. 2 hits and 6 Ks. Alejandro Kirk has a double. And the lone RBI in the 4th. That would be Valhalla. Had 3 or 4 different versions. Ballpark is the one. Actually, I'm not sure. You may be right on that, Todd. I'll shut up and just call the game. And Kirk draws the walk. Kirk, not really a threat to steal. Vladimir Guerrero singled. And with runners with Kirk on third, he stole second. Yeah, Valhalla was a hell of a game. I think it was his best, Greg Savon's best game, as a matter of fact. I got to find it. Derek Bain has asked me to do a couple things for his project, and Valhalla is on them, which means I got to hook up my noisy hard drive. Runner goes. That's into left center field for a base hit. Kirk is on his way to third. Collins is going to throw. To third. He is in there. So Kirk, he calls for John Kruk's oxygen tank. We'll take a couple deep breaths. Guerrero on again, and it's first and third, and 1 out for Bo Bichette, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So they'll go talk to Patrick. Patrick says, get out of here. Do you make the move now? You got Zastrinci, right? How do you say that? Z-A-S-T, Zastronci? Gubaza, there you go. Hall, who you could use as a lefty. Uribe is tired. McGill you save. I believe Todd that Cruxter. All right, Andrew. That Cruxter is doing Phillies games. So do I leave Patrick in, or do I bring in Hall? That's Strisny. Okay. Speaking of John, right there. So Patrick or Hall here? Phillies home games mostly on TV for Johnny Kruk. 1-1 the score in the 6th. We're going to go with Hall. So Patrick's day is done. Hall, 1-0, a 3.49 ERA, 20 appearances, 3 starts. He's 26. Fastball at 94 and a ground ball pitcher. I'm sure I have a lot of misplaced modifiers, John. 38 2/3 for DL, 15 runs, all earned, 24 hits. He has walked 17 and struck out 27. Todd says, Cruxter is on your all-you-can-eat buffet team, along with many others. So first and third, 1 out here in the 6th and a 1-1 tie. Bo Bichette 0 for 2 with a K. And Bo draws the walk. Yeah, I figure you catch a lot of games. You were right about Montreal, by the way, being the surprise team, although they've kind of come back down to earth. Hopefully they haven't caught the same goaltending disease that Edmonton has. Davis Schneider is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Bichette on first, Guerrero Jr. on second, and Captain Kirk on third. Halt, deep breath. Popped up, left side, Collins. Will that be deep enough to score the slow Kirk? Yes. But Collins is going to throw home. Your brother-in-law never misses a Blue Jays game. The throw to the plate. Not in time when the Jays go up 2-1. For Nathan Lukes. Who will... Oh. So I wonder if the computer will pinch hit. Dobbs is better than Mountain Blow. Yep. At least we're not wasting the best years of Connor McDavid's career. Lukes, hard ground ball to first. Vaughn to Hall, and Lukes is retired, and that'll do. However, the Jays, for the first time in the series, take the lead. Arana hit, no errors. After 5.5, Toronto 2, Milwaukee 1. Big Clue has his money on Mattingly and Kent for the Hall of Fame vote. Wow. Yeah, you said you were season ticket holders from 77 to 94. I'm sure when they moved indoors, you loved that. Caleb Durbin, 0 for 1. Bieber starts the 6th. That's going to be a base hit into right field. That's only the second hit for Milwaukee. See, I would put in Bonds and Clemens. Joey Ortiz is 0 for 1. I would take Hernandez over Mattingly, to be honest. I think Kent, despite the fact he is an all-world pain in the butt from what I understand, I think should be in as well. I think Mattingly is in that borderline. If he gets in, I'm fine with it, but hard to believe that if you were to ask somebody who the best New York Yankee was ever to not win a World Series, the answer would obviously be Don Mattingly. Pitch to Ortiz, the throw to first. And they got... Durbin is back. That is true. You're a tough old Canadian boy who doesn't mind the cold. After all, you've had 50 operations. So you don't mind going to a frozen golf course and swinging a steel-shafted club on dormant ground. Fly ball to left. Schneider will grab it, and Durbin goes back. 1 out for Terang, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Does that open, if Clemens and Bonds ever get in, does that open the door for Sosa and McGuire? I don't think McGuire's numbers are good enough to get in the Hall. Yeah, his home runs are gaudy. But look at the rest of his numbers. I'd have to look up Sosa. Kirk and Bieber have a word. Shane deals. Fly ball to right. Springer will make the grab, and Durbin goes back. So Terang is now 0 for 3. 19 batters deep for Bieber. 5 2/3. 77 pitches. 2 hits. The home run to Freeland, who's at the plate, and 6 strikeouts. Sal struck out his other time up. And that's the rub for Mattingly, is did he do it long enough? Mattingly always seemed to beat up on Triple G's twins. He was the Yankee you feared most. But he lost his job in 1990. Got it back because Kevin Moss was a flash in the pan, but runner fakes or they pitch out, and I didn't send him. Popped up. Jimenez on the dirt. And that'll do. So we're through 6. No runs, a hit. The Brewers finally leave on a runner. Go to the 7th in Game 2. Toronto 2, Milwaukee 1. So Hall will get a full inning, or a chance for a full inning. Clement, Varsho, and Jimenez to face him. Ernie 0 for 2 today. Not anymore. When I started getting awful, when I started golfing, I was awful, but enjoyed it. And then I met a friend who was a great player who said, I can't understand why you struggle so much. Excuse me, the zen of golf swings, you know? Clement hits a hard ground ball to short. Ortiz snap throw to first. He's retired. 1 out. And Hall is hurt, and I got an error. We'll be right back as we fix the error. Just one moment, please. Talk amongst yourselves. Never. That's the first error I've had in forever. It's a different picture. All right. The top of the 7th never happened. So Clement again is 0 for 2. That's a change of picture. Getting back to the golf game, he told me that you had a great swing, but the changed position of your feet and eventually you became a 10-12. That's not bad. Well, I'm not sure what happened here. And Ordonez could hit. Ordonez hit a walk-off for Detroit in the ALCS. He's sent him to the World Series. All right, let's see what happens this time. That is a oops. Nope. One moment, please. Churrillo makes a great play, by the way, in that fly ball to center. Change the display to 3/4 and then back. Now, where would I find that? I haven't changed that in forever. Oh. Diamond display. Oh, yeah, right here. No, because it's a different ballpark. It changed the park. Just right-click on the screen. All right, hold on. No, this never has happened on a Fortnite stream. Ballpark data, American Family Field. Miller 2. Through my 9 things of ballparks here. All right. Once again, we start the 7th inning. A rerun of Full House. The game crashed, John, and when I brought it back, it brought in the Knight Stadium, which was not dolled up, and so the chalkboard was wrong, and I wasn't going to go through and redo that. So we had a crash. You haven't missed anything. And so I just went back through and changed the ballpark so they were all the same field. And tonight on Full House, Aunt Becky cashes her checks from Southern California. Yeah, it never crashes indeed. Clement, once again, is 0 for 2. This is the third time he's been at bat here in the 7th inning. He's wondering what's going on. Ground ball to short. Ortiz over to Vaughn for the out. If you had the over-under on that at FanDuel, you got a problem. Varsho 0 for 2 in the strikeout. I think it's the first time, Todd, I've actually had a crash this year in the baseball game. We've been very lucky about that. Pitch to Dalton. There's a slow bounder to Vaughn, and he takes it to the bag himself. 2 out for Andres Jimenez. Andres struck out. He's 0 for 2. Got him. Stretch time. Brendan Little coming in to pitch for the Jays. So Shane Bieber's night is over. We go to the bottom of the 7th in game 2. 2-1, Toronto. Well, hopefully we can get through this now with little or no interruption. Brendan Little pitched yesterday. 2/3 of an inning, 21 pitches, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And if you gamble on baseball, you will not go to the hole or get a hall pass. So the Jays' pen needs to get 9 outs. Yelich, Contreras, and Churria, the heart of the Brewer order here in the 7th. Christian is 0 for 2. Got him. And 0-2. Got him swinging 1 out for Contreras, who has struck out twice. So Shane Bieber, all the sports, Todd, embrace gambling. I was watching a clip of an Army Farley Dickinson game that had 18,000 technical foul shots in a row, and it was the bad beat segment on SportsCenter. I'm watching this on Facebook yesterday, and the bad beat was if you bet that the over-under was 153.5, and because of all the foul shots, the over hit. I mean, and so they're just joking around about it. Again, I have no problem if Mattingly gets in. I just think that Hernandez was the better player. And I think the one strike against Keith was the cocaine trial back in the 80s. Contreras has struck out twice. Got him! A 1-2. Little as fan 2. Churria 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But if they're not going to do her, you know what? It would be kind of cool because Gary Cohen is going to get the Frick Award at some point. Is if Hernandez and Cohen get in together. That would be awesome. Pitch, and Chirino draws the walk. He is a tying run. Parker was the same trial. Yes, you're absolutely right. But Parker, I think, had a bigger public impact than Hernandez. I mean, Hernandez played for a long time. Vaughn, by the way, 0 for 2. Was the co-MVP in 79 with Parker. Or was that Stargell? But Parker had the flashier power. A good glove first baseman ain't going to get a lot of attention. Just ask Mattingly and McGuire. Pitch to Vaughn. There is a ground ball to Guerrero on a hop, and Vladdy retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. They got 3 of the 9 after 7, 2-1 Toronto. It was Stargell. Yeah. So Springer, Kirk, and Guerrero to face Hall. DL is gone an inning and 2/3, a walk and a strikeout. And remember, it wasn't the writers that voted for Parker. It was the committee. It was the Vets committee for that particular year. Pitch to Springer, who's 0 for 2. High ground ball to short. Ortiz, a great stop over to Vaughn for the out. So Joey makes a good play. 1 out for Alejandro Kirk. 1 for 2. A double, an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. Yeah, we do need more Willie Stargells in baseball for sure. Hall's pitch, and Captain Kirk draws the walk. So here's Vladdy. Put the mouse in the right spot. Okay, 202 I'm not worried about, but 415 I am. And it's going to be, it's going to be Quinn Preister. Because he's not going to pitch tomorrow. 376 and 248. Nick Mears. Nick pitched yesterday. He's 28. Fastball at 94. And is a standard pitcher. He went 1 inning in that 5-4 win. 11 pitches and a strikeout. Really? Greg, who's met a lot of athletes. Willie Stargell. Nicest player from any sport you've ever met. That's saying something because I've heard nothing but good things about Jean Beliveau, too. Vladdy 2 for 3 today. He has stolen a base and singled twice. Yes, if I had to pick one current MLB player who could be an ambassador for baseball, who would that be? Wow, that's a good one. Pitch to Guerrero. Popped up. Vaughn will make the catch in foul territory for the out. You got some good ones. If Otani's English was better, it'd be him. I suppose because he plays in New York and is so good, you'd have to say Aaron Judge, wouldn't you? Bo Bichette 0 for 2, a walk and a strikeout. Jim Perry would be the nicest athlete Triple G's ever met. Too long a story. All right. Oh, and Belleville spoke at your uncle's funeral. I imagine that Maurice Richard mellowed as he aged. Yeah, Gaylord Perry always seemed nice. I suppose just because of the market and his production. No. All caps. I suppose, Todd, I'd have to say Aaron Judge. Who would you say? You guys who watch baseball more than I do would know. Pitch to Bo. There's a base hit, left center field. Chirrillo will cut it off. Kirk on his way to third. And again, they bring out John Kruk's oxygen tank. Kirk has had to run an awful lot. Bichette singles. That's only the fourth hit for the Jays. Here's Schneider, who is 0 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout. Fly ball, shallow left. Collins will make the catch. And Yariel Rodriguez comes in to pitch for Toronto as we go to the bottom of the eighth. No runs, a hit. The Jays have left on 4. And after 7.5, 2-1, Blue Jays. Yariel did not pitch in game 1, 3-2 in 25, a 3.08 ERA, 66 games in the start, and 2 saves. That's pretty rare to see both. 73 innings, 50 hits, 26 runs, 25 earned, 34 walks. That's a lot, and 66 strikeouts. He is a fastball pitcher at 93 and a standard pitcher, and Yariel is 27. Maurice was always a jerk, called the police on some kids who asked for his autograph. Yeah, I never heard a bad thing about his brother, Henri. We just passed the anniversary of Patrick Waugh demanding his trade. If you put Patrick's ego and Mario Tremblay's ego in the same room, would there be any room to breathe? Collins, by the way, Durbin and Ortiz to face Rodriguez here in the eighth. Isaac is 0 for 2. The 2 hits, Frelick's homer in the first, and Durbin. That's it. High ground ball to Guerrero, over to Rodriguez, underhanded for the out, 1 away. For Caleb Durbin, who has a single, 1 for 2. Your cousin's husband was a Montreal police officer. Have you heard me tell the story of the retired Montreal police officer that would come down to the store I used to work at? Like you, he was a Red Wing fan. They play for the bunt. No, I'm not going to bunt here. Popped up, right side. Back goes Springer. George will make the catch, 2 out. For Joey Ortiz. I don't think I'm in the shortstop, do I? I do. All right, who can hit a righty? Who can hit a righty? In fact, it will be Monasterio. Andrew Monasterio. Not how you pronounce that. 274 homers and 16 RBI. Not you. Okay. I think you knew that I used to work at a sports memorabilia store, right? Fly ball, left center. Back goes Varsho. Tie game! He tied it up. A pinch hit home run for Andrew Mona Lisa. And he does a virtuoso performance to knock this one up at 2. Toronto needed 9. They got 6. They got 5. Here it is again. It was a retired Detroit cop that comes in one night. The Montreal cop's another story. And so this must have been around one of those Red Wing Pittsburgh finals. And he was loud. We get chatting back and forth. Bryce Terang, by the way, 0 for 3. He has struck out twice. So 2-2 the score now. And so he's just kind of going on a little too much about his Red Wings. And so you didn't know that? I worked there for 12 years. Loved it. He's the Tiger fan that you'll hear me talk about, and Lion fan you'll hear me talk about every once in a while. So he was being a little too full of himself. So I asked him about Sidney Crosby. And in the most ungentlemanly way possible. Thankfully, I worked nights and there weren't little kids in the store. But he screams. It was a great job. It was absolutely a great job, Todd. He screams, and I'm going to, paraphrase a little bit here because I don't need to get demonetized. Fornicating kitty when talking about Sidney Crosby. Terang swings. That's into right field. Back goes Springer. That's well hit. Springer will make the catch to tie the ball game. How about that? The pinch hit home run from Mona, whatever his name is, gives the Brewers a 2-2 tie as we head to the ninth. Mona Stereo. And he's... Yeah, I got the 2,000 subs. Thanks, Todd. So, Andrew was a 5. Mears will pitch to Lukes. Lukes is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Greg has stopped talking to me. Sometimes that pinch hit thing works, Hard ground ball right to short to start. Over to Vaughn, 1 out. The bullpen blows another one. I'm surprised that you guys didn't go, well, it's early in the off season. That seemed to be where he needed the help. Especially in this day and age when your starters don't go more than 5 or 6 anyway. Ernie Clement, 0 for 3. It'll be Frelick, Yelich, and Contreras for Milwaukee in the ninth. Hard ground ball line drive right to Terang, 2 out. So Mears gets 4 huge outs here. Here's Varsho. Dalton 0 for 3 with a K. They got Malstraw on the bench. But I'm not running the Jays. Struck him out. It's Hoffman. Is Jeff Trevor's kid, by the way? Jeff did not pitch in game 1. He's not at 31. Fastball at 93. 71 games, 9-7 the record. That's in a 4.3. That's Todd Jones numbers. Not the way he pitches. A 4.37 ERA. Greg has gotten out his bottle of Canadian Club. 33 saves, 68 innings, 54 hits. 34 runs, my goodness. 33 earned, 15 homers. He walked 27 and struck out 84. So feast or famine for Hoffman, who averaged 11-1. His ERA was over 5. Wow. So Frelick, who homered already in this game, he had 12 and 528 at-bats in real life. Yelich and Contreras here in the ninth. 1 to win. Left field, Schneider. 1 out. For Yelich, there's an 8% chance of homering here. Christian 0 for 3 today. He has struck out once. Kirk puts a finger down. Hoffman deals. Fly ball right center. Varsho and Springer. And it will be George. And we're certainly in cardiac territory now. 2 out for Contreras, who went 3 for 5 yesterday and has struck out 3 times today. Left field. Back goes Schneider. We're going to Toronto with a walk-off home run from Contreras. It's all over. The Brewers win this one by the score of 3-2. And to paraphrase Howard Cosell, Buzzsaw goes, "This is crap." 2 hours and 56 looks familiar. Fake minutes. And Toronto fans reach for the Labatt Blue. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Milwaukee. And Monasterio is going to be your MVP. The pinch hit home run in the 8th. Yeah, this is Game 7 all over again. They left on 2. Milwaukee left on 2 runners. Yeah, electric blanket pulled out for tonight, Paul. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Toronto. Shane Bieber just shakes his head. 6 innings, 2 hits. So, run, it was earned. But you cracked open a Pepsi. The choice of a new generation. No walks and 6 strikeouts. Rodriguez and Hoffman give up the home runs. Patrick pitched well, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk and 6 strikeouts. Hall, 2 innings, 2 walks, a strikeout. And I got to give Mears credit. He came in and slammed the door. Inning and 2/3, a hit and a strikeout. So we go next week. It'll be Monday, and I don't know if we'll be at noon or 8. So watch the Facebook group for that. Milwaukee has won the first 2. I get Toronto the next 2 games. And yeah, I mean the run off of Bieber was Frelick. That was a modern baseball game. Milwaukee hit 3 solo home runs and 4 hits, and that's all it took. So good pitching, good hitting, and in the end, I got to say, I'm starting to love Alejandro Kirk. Oh, well, the missus wants that electric blanket too. All right, so have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ron Juckett. We will talk to you sometime on Monday for Game 3 of this series. Milwaukee going to Toronto. Up 2-0. They win this one. But both of these have been 1-run games. 3-2 to the final of the day. As soon as I can find the mouse.